Speaking of going to the moon, let's talk about
Colorado.
the journey of Will Compton. Since we've been on this bus, Nebraska, respectfully, has been abysmal. They've been a terrible football program. They've gotten stomped down, beat out, dragged through the mud of the Big Ten for literally, since 2015, essentially. But really, we started this podcast in 2018, and my boy has had zero footing. He's a newborn deer, Bambi, the first scene of Bambi, trying to learn to walk year in and year out as Nebraska gets their shit pushed in by any team worth their salt over and over and over and over and over and over and over
All
again.
right.
For the love of God, the people in Nebraska, the only thing they have going for them is 360-something consecutive sold-out things where you just have a fan base on life support that just can't catch a dub versus a team that is not Division I AA. But last week, 2 days ago, really, and now if you're watching this 3 days ago, a young Dylan Raiola gets on the field against a stocky, but stout UTEP team.
11 transfers from Austin P.
And decides to throw the ball all over the yard, showing that maybe this young man who literally looks up to, idolizes it, and even looks like Patrick Mahomes might actually be the second coming of Patrick Mahomes. So I would like to have a moment of silence for the shitty Nebraska, because like a phoenix, they are rebirthed into
hard.
maybe
when
a good program.
You're going hard. You're going really
This is all
hard.
positive.
I respect it.
Let's have a moment of silence. Thank you. Nebraska is... I think we got a good ball club in Lincoln.
We might.
I think we got a good ball club in Lincoln. The boys not only covered, they dominated. Day in, day out. They ran the ball well. They pushed the line of scrimmage with their Hogs, which if you play CFB 25 and you play against or with Nebraska, you notice that the offensive line, their grades are really bad. They don't... A lot of people are sleeping on them.
That Michigan outfit.
Yes.
Mason Graham just absolutely wrecks us.
But he's throwing it to playmakers. Guys are going up and getting it. This is how excited Will Compton is. Will Compton's so excited. He goes, Taylor, look at this deep. This is Saturday. We're in College Station's about to go to A&M versus Notre Dame. He goes, hey, look at this deep ball. Shows me they're in the red zone. But still hyped up. Kid goes up, turns, gets the ball. Raiola puts it where only his receiver can get it, comes down with it. Nebraska Cornhuskers got a lot to be excited about, and I'm fucking stoked for you, my boy. I am fired up for you, and I had to get nasty for a second because it's been bad.
It was a good.
Now
setup.
we can put it to bed because we know, just like in Harry Potter, the Phoenix comes out after he gets hit by the snake. One single teardrop comes in. Harry Potter's now back up alive, and he ends up taking down the man who should not be named, but I'm gonna name him anyway because we fear no man on this podcast, Voldemort.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Talk me through it, kid.
Dude, you know your boy is hype. I'm insanely cautious because one, I feel like everybody, millions of people are tuned in. What's Will going to say about Nebraska? And I don't want us to drink the Kool-Aid because winning like that also has consequences.
Yes, it does.
We haven't tasted success in a long time.
Yes, it does.
Yes, we tasted good success, like things you can be optimistic about. But again, against a team like UTEP, however, in the past, you're not... Nebraska would not be executing in that capacity against a team like UTEP. Like it would go like, I remember when we were at, Georgia Southern a couple years ago, and they took us down to the fucking wire. And you saw the stat that popped up during the first quarter after we came out and scored. We averaged 2.3 points per game in the first quarter. I will say I'm very fired up. I'm optimistic right now. I think Raiola, like even from something as simple as a tunnel walk, and again, I'm going to sound ridiculous even saying this, but being a freshman, kid's 18, 19 years old, and it's his first start. He's starting as a true freshman, which hasn't been done. I think, I think Adrian Martinez did that as well. But he's coming out of the tunnel walk, and I
one of the very many Martinez's to come out of the Nebraska program.
I see him looking side to side, and he's like flowing with the crowd, like wanting them to get hype. And I know when I was like, whether I'm a rookie, even playing, being a veteran, and you're going out and you're going to get a first opportunity to start and everything else, like the poise he seemed to have, it fired me up to see the first drive. And again, he's throwing a deep ball, very first deep ball he threw. Cat that transferred from Texas. Isaiah. I'm blowing his last name right now, but he probably should have came down with it. And then Raiola again trusts the same guy throwing it to him. And throughout the game, he's taking shots, and you're seeing players You're seeing players go after the ball to make plays, not just operate and execute. Or if you have a bad drop or a turnover, their head doesn't get down. Like they were driving in the second or third drive and we fumbled and we were backed up, or we fumbled in our own 10-yard line, not our own, but going in to score.
Right.
And even from there, we get a safety after that. But guys just seem like they're playing fearless, which is good. And again, UTEP was still fired up. That head coach, I swear to God, he caught a full body cramp at that later that night because he was insanely fired up the entire time.
Right.
But just seeing him push to the line of scrimmage, seeing him run through a motherfucker's face. 4 running backs touched the ball at least 6 times and averaged over 4 yards a carry.
That's huge.
The D-line was getting after it. We had a pick. The black shirts were playing well. And again, Dylan was throwing deep. He wasn't nervous. You could tell he's not nervous. He's going to go back to throwing deep. He trusted his arm. He took a shot in the mouth. Helmet came off. So I feel like those things are like, it excites you. Because again, we'll be tested this week against Colorado because Shadur and Travis Hunter and even Horn, and they have another receiver that's really good. Their defense is vulnerable, but Colorado's going to be tough, and this is going to be a massive game. It's going to be an insane atmosphere. The guy at the Super Bowl who interviewed me was like, "It's been however many days since what?" And he was like, since Nebraska beat Colorado, and it is a fucking long time.
Yeah.
And just that rivalry that's been there since the early days, it's going to be juicy, bro. Like it's fucking war.
This is what I loved about Raiola is you guys go down, I believe it was the first drive you score 7-0. Now the second drive that Nebraska has, I don't know if it was a 3 and out, but you did cross the 50. It's a 3rd and 8. It's a longer third down. And Raiola goes and checks down. They show the replay, show one of the wide receivers got about 7 yards of separation deep down the field.
Right, when it was like 3rd and short or 4th and short, and they didn't convert.
Right, they ended up not converting on that. The reason why I like that is you watch progression throughout the game and you see him now taking shots. So even in this 60 minutes of football, his first time playing at a college football game, you're seeing growth from the kid that he's like, he knows he's going to want that one back. Now those mistakes that we made in that first quarter, boom, we're making them against Colorado, which is a good, solid rivalry in college football.
Right.
So not only did he have a great game, but there's a lot to learn from as well. It's not like he played perfect, right? Which is exciting.
And like just calming your mind down, like the self-talk of like, yo, just open your eyes, see the field. Like there was one I missed. Like, yeah, like don't get too narrow vision on everything. I love seeing that. And I think it's big for somebody like Dylan who has all the expectation in the world coming in and playing in front of, playing in the state of Nebraska. Like, in our brain, it's like he's going to bring balance back to the force.
Right. And so for this game, were you more excited about the result of the game or the amount the crowd got hyped up watching you on the big screen right before the team runs out in front of 65,000 fans? 65,000 screaming Lincoln, Nebraska fans?
Come on.
75,000 screaming Lincoln, Nebraska fans? 85,000 screaming?
Over 90. We're 90,000.
Okay.
We're north of 90,000.
North of 90,000.
65,000.
Just under 100,000 screaming Nebraska fans are looking at it and they go, oh shit, is that Will Compton? Oh man. And then the hype, get off your ass, get off your seat. We know he's going to spin it, all this stuff. And it seemed like social media, at least, you watched a couple of those replays of people recording on their phone, crowd went nuts for you. What was a better feeling?
It fired me up. Well, the better feeling is, listen, I want Nebraska to fucking compete this year for real. And I think we can. And again, it's just like, you gotta temper. I go through it literally every year. And this year I feel different. Now I'm trying to figure out how to kind of work with that emotion. So I want the success of Nebraska always over that. But getting to do the hype videos, like when they reached out and asked me to do the hype videos, I was fired up. I'm nervous because you want to you want to entertain the fans. You want to get them fired up. You want to get them going.
Yeah.
But getting to do that, bro, is so sick to me because it's like, it's such a full circle moment. Like I got to play with the N on my helmet. I loved playing there when I was there for my 5 years. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. Like obviously everybody knows my love for Bo Pelini and the Huskers, like just even being a fan as I've gotten older. But getting to do something like that and then being like, hey, have your team shoot it, like trusting us or like do whatever you want to do. Like it's up to you. You're the creative. We won't give you lines unless you want them. They gave me the inspo from Christian Peter when that dude was just an absolute psychopath back in the 90s. And I was just going to kind of build it off that. But them giving us the freedom to create and getting to play that right before kickoff, knowing it was welcomed and everybody was excited about it. And again, knowing that that's where I played college ball and sitting here at 34, 35 years old, like it fires me up.
35 in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, in
Still
a couple
34.
weeks. But it fires me up because I fucking played there and I love the fucking university.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's just like, it's one of the coolest things I've gotten to do since playing there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the coolest.
Yeah.
Especially for my university. And your boy is. I'm fired up.
It was awesome to see. Oh, it was just, as your friend, it was cool to watch when you hit me up and you're like, yo, they asked me to do this. I thought that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then the video, I thought this is great. And then, but you just don't know how it's going to be received. I mean, people are going to be able to hear you very well. It's a large stadium, but it seemed like the whole stadium got juiced up by your words and your body language. And I don't know if there's a better feeling out there.
It did. It fired me up.
Because you're adding to the play.
Right.
You're adding to the play of the players. You're adding to the energy of the crowd, the people that pile in every single week.
Yeah.
Hoping to God this is finally going to be the year that changes. And damn it, it seems like it's changing.
I know. When they were like, yo, it's going to go tunnel walk, the band's going to play, then your video, and then kick off. I'm like, yo, I'm in it. And then Rule and another coach, they FaceTime me, and he's just like, yo, that video is fucking awesome. I'm like, it just fires me up that they love it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Here's what I'll tell you about how I'm viewing you right now and your body language towards the success of Nebraska.
Yeah. You can tell like
I know.
I want to say we're going to win it all.
Short form, let this bounce off the shoulders. I hate it. Now we're going to move on and we're going to talk about it, because how I've looked at you the last couple of years is like the overconfident rookie who no one expects a whole lot from when it comes to supporting Nebraska. It's an uphill battle. You know you don't have the team, the turnover margin, but no matter what, Will Compton week in and week out is going to die for the end. And they say, hey, we're going to upset the world when we play this team.
Yeah.
We're going to upset the world when UTEP comes in to our stadium.
We're going to get their best. When it was 7-7, I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
we got to get going. Right. We got to get going. I'm like, hey, you're going to get their best.
Now the rookie comes out, plays well, and people are like, oh shit, this cat can play a little bit of ball right now. Now you're thinking, oh, I have to be humble. I have to not be a nasty boy in the whole success thing. You have been singing from the rooftops how Nebraska is the greatest program when they've been dog shit. No disrespect. This is just the truth, right? I'm not coming at you. I'm just talking to you.
Yeah. Because I can explain this.
Now we can look at 10-2 as an actual reality for the Nebraska Cornhuskers in the 2024 season.
Yep.
I don't think the energy needs to change at all. What got you here? Compton? It's the arrogance of saying Nebraska is maybe the best 3-9 team ever. Nebraska is, hey, there's a reason why Michigan won 45-7, because you guys cheated. We would have actually won that game. All the things that made you as a Nebraska Cornhusker fans, shit can't change now. You guys
can I explain?
Go ahead.
So the reason I'm feeling different now is because I actually think we have a solid product to build on.
So everything else was a lie.
No.
I shouldn't have spoke.
So not that it's a lie. It's like in recent years when we lost it historically, statistically, best 3-win team of all time. Like going through those things, it's like no one believes that we're going to win. Not even Nebraska fans, right? Like, especially when you're calling for Frost's head. Like, I'm never going to be the guy that's like calling for somebody's head, because no matter what, I want to back the boys.
Right.
So I always want to be the optimism or the little bit of hope. If fans are down and out, like, how can I make them laugh? How can I just be the fucking guy that'll take whatever bullet to make us believe that we can win this game?
Right.
Because the locker room's down. Like, who knows what kind of clips they see and all that stuff. Like, why you got to have somebody who believes in you, because everybody else doesn't. And I know how low you can get mentally in that place when you're not playing well. So it's like, I'm going to take a different spin and just I'm going to be about it every week and try to give some kind of juice or urgency, some type of faith to the fans. Maybe if a player comes across a clip, some type of something. And now I feel like we potentially have a product and everybody's going to be patting us on the ass and everybody's going to be drinking the Kool-Aid, and knowing that you don't want those guys. You don't want everybody being overly arrogant, because you got something right now. Like, don't believe the hype. Don't buy the hype, because we actually have a solid product right now. So I don't want to continue to just be some overly. I'm going to be optimistic. Like, I do believe we can be a 10-2 football team. And I know how it sounds before the season. Now that we've went through week 1, it's like, oh, Nebraska could be kind of nice. It's like,
and your schedule.
Right. And our schedule's very favorable. You watch UCLA play, you watch Wisconsin play. It's like, okay, we can actually do this.
You play Oregon?
We don't play Oregon.
Damn.
But so my approach is a little different just because I feel like Bussin' With The Boys, myself, we've amassed even more audience, like the Nebraska, like I feel a little synonymous with how Nebraska could potentially do that. That's like, what's that called? Main character syndrome. So whoever's watching, I don't want us to fucking go all in and drink this Kool-Aid and be a little overly arrogant. Like, do I think we can whoop Colorado's ass? Absolutely. But we got to go in with a level of like composure of, hey, respect the game, respect the team you're about to play against. Trust me, we can beat their ass, but don't sit here just because you win 40-7 and Dylan kind of plays a little bit. It's like, yo, we're fucking back, yada, yada. Every part of me wants to scream that just based on the past, but also you being a player, it's like you got to come in like, hey, fuck all the noise outside of here. We have to take care of business because you can run all the clips. Hey, guy, we can run the fucking ball. We can throw it deep. We can throw it wherever. We can play defense. We can pick people off. We got beat on a deep route when UTEP scored that first one against somebody who was
5-play drive, and they kept the
the
pressure
we can move
on.
the line of scrimmage. We lean on guys here on the duo. Like, don't start to drink your own Kool-Aid and start to get a little arrogant with your play. Like, I just want his head down, bro, because I know we can do it.
Right.
Like, I know we can go. So that's why my approach is kind of what it is. Because, again, it's like we win. They all love us right now. But
Who's
don't
they?
believe
Who's they?
The world. We're winning a national title compared to the way everybody's talking.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Kind of.
No. But I feel like you kind of know what I'm saying.
Right. I know what you're
like,
saying.
in the past, like, I knew, like, okay, if we don't beat, whether it's Rutgers or some team that you just think the logo should be able to beat this team. And it's like, all right, everybody's kind of down right now, no matter what. So my spin was always, whether I'm going in the pantry, whether I'm doing something, it's like, I'm going to be a cat that is for the boys and talk about why we potentially lost and what plays we might have missed out there. Because ultimately, when you're fumbling a fuck ton and turning the ball over, like, that gets to a player, like, in their psyche. And so it's like, I just want to be the guy that's like, you know, not buy into that bullshit. So that way it doesn't creep in that way. And I'm kind of the same way here. I feel like you win the opener like that. Dylan, we got one, we got this, we got that. You know, as a player, bro, like, don't fucking buy that hype. You got it tough. And this week is the one. Like, there's a lot.
It's the hardest game in your schedule.
Yeah, and this is a lot like, you know, between Nebraska and Colorado, like, there's a lot on the fucking line this week. And you know, I just want such a tempered, like, slow burn, because we all know we want to beat the shit out of this team. We all know we want to beat the shit out of these boys. But again, I'm not going to sit there and talk like, hey, the rollies, the shit like that. Like, trust me, I want to. But again, I want to have a confidence moving into this thing with the respect to the other outfit. That's my explanation. That's kind of my strategy behind why I seem a little different right now.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
You beat UTEP. Like, there's not going to be a lull this week in playing Colorado, just on the way you framed it.
Yeah.
Colorado disrespected Nebraska last year. Colorado disrespected Nebraska last year. You guys might have a product, but you beat UTEP. You go in and beat the shit out of Colorado. Then we can have this conversation next week going into week 3 of the college football season.
Yeah.
Right now, those boys, I'm sure Rule's in a team meeting doing the same thing you're just talking about. Boys, you see we can do the combos. You see we can throw the ball here. The running backs, all you guys averaging over 4 yards a carry. All of you touched it more than 6 times. See, we can do it. Now do it this week. Now you have the same success you did against UTEP against Colorado. Then we sit here next week and say, listen, we don't sleep on anybody, blah, blah, blah. The coach talk, everything. But right now,
you're saying you want the other animal.
This is Ohio State, Michigan. This is Yankees versus Red Sox. This is Alabama versus Auburn for you guys. There is no sleeping on anyone. The disrespect that happened in Boulder last year to Nebraska, you think them boys don't remember? You think Matt Rule doesn't remember those types of things?
Oh, they remember.
The same guy that says if we die, we die. You need to worry about putting on your best cheerleader outfit, no disrespecting that, truly, like being the number one Nebraska fan saying, we are going to Pulp Fiction these guys, put the gag ball in their mouth, bend them over, and hope to God the guy with the sword doesn't come down the basement and take us out. Because we are going to fuck these boys up and down the field for 60 minutes. It's the path you got to take. Once we do those things, once we've now taken them boys, bent them over a barrel, show them the 50 states, then next week, roll in the next game, boys, temper expectations here, all right? Now people are giving you the best because they know you're a real football team. Because next week, after you guys beat Colorado, you're a top 25 football team in college football. Now there's no more sleeping.
You're speaking in a lot of absolutes.
I'm saying because you got to as a fan.
I think I'm positioned right where I need to be. I think I am right where I need to fucking be. And everybody who out there listen that's a Nebraska fan, another hype video is coming. Trust me, I'm where I feel good about where I'm at, and I just. As giddy and as excited as I am, it's not like I just want to sit here and I can't buy all that stock right now.
Boys in the back.
The stock has already been bought, but I just don't want everybody patting these motherfuckers on the back way too hard. I don't want them to listen. I know they listen to the boys.
Rat poison.
Yeah, it's rat poison. I know they listen to the boys. I want to be that steady fucking piece. Because trust me, some of those lines you were dropping, I love them. Bend over, show the 50 states, gag ball in the mouth. In due time.
Right. What's your heart rate at right now?
89.
So just sitting in a chair.
I'm juiced. I'm fucking.
You got the high blood pressure right
ready,
now
because we're about to have the greatest weekend of our lives.